But with us on the phone from Cyprus, ladies and gentlemen, is Derek Graham, who was the first mate on 3 trips, actually, that he made to Gaza. Derek, tell me, let's go from the beginning. Like, how did you get involved with this movement? Now, you're an Irish. You were in the reserves in Ireland, but then you decided to go and help the Palestinians. How did you get into this movement?
Well, like most Irish, I'm pro-Palestinian. And when I saw my opportunity to combine my sailing skills with my desire to fight injustice, I realized it was time for me to make a change and make a difference. So I signed up as soon as I seen it advertised.
Okay.
I had to think about it for a while, because when you realize what you're actually doing, then you have to sit back and think for a while first and discuss it with your wife.
Now, let me ask you this. Were you at any time, I mean, did you think that maybe the Israelis would sink that boat if you actually did go on that trip? Did that cross your mind that, hey, they might sink the boat?
Oh, there was a very high possibility. We had been warned by the Israeli Navy that they would sink us, and also warned us that they would arrest us. They told us they would blow the boats out of the water. And they were quite aggressive. They actually phoned a couple of people's private houses and they told one woman to say goodbye to their mammy because she wasn't coming home. They were very, very aggressive before we actually set sail.
Now, everybody on the boat, they knew that if they would have taken this voyage, they might not come back, and they might not even make it to Gaza, but they decided to go. How many people were on the boat? Now, the first voyage was 2 boats, right?
Yes, the Free Gaza and the Liberty.
Now, when you called it, now the Liberty, let me just talk about the Liberty, which was actually the United States did almost lose the USS Liberty there in those, close to those same waters where you were. Did that have anything to do with you calling it the Liberty, or how did that play?
That's exactly why we called it the Liberty, was because of the fact that the Israeli Navy had actually sunk a U.S. naval vessel called the Liberty, and many American seamen lost their lives.
Yeah, well, they wanted to sink it, but yeah, many Americans lost their lives, and it's still that problem still is not solved. But you guys did throw. I've seen like a picture with flowers in the water to represent the 34 Americans who died in that USS Liberty attack by Israel, and I think 10 more for the Palestinians who died.
Yeah, that's correct. It was a ceremony that we held at the pier side in memory of the sailors. Because of them dying at sea, we decided we would actually do this ceremony at sea.
Okay. Now, when you got close to the water, now you started in Cyprus, and when you got close to Gaza, did the Israeli Navy, did they intercept your boat?
No, actually, they stayed back. We had actually, our plan was to publicise it so well that there was very little that they could do. At the same time, we knew it was still a big risk, but we said that we put everything in the media, and we actually had a lot of media on board. We had Al Jazeera, and we had Reuters, and we had other journalists on board. And this was our plan, to basically have as much media attention with the whole mission, so that it would make it harder for the Israelis to do anything to us.
Okay. Now, you made it to Gaza. Now, tell me, what was the purpose? I mean, was the purpose to bring supplies to Gaza? I mean, I'm sure you can't bring a lot of supplies on these small boats. What was the purpose of actually going to Gaza and risking your life for it?
Well, it was first to challenge the siege, to actually challenge the siege itself. And secondly, we did actually bring in medical supplies. And every journey since, we've actually brought in medical supplies. The last time we brought in a ton of medicine. The second time we brought in, I think it was around half a ton, and the first time was just, it was only a few hundred kilos.
Now, okay, why is it going down? Money it was running short, or why you were not bringing as much supplies as you did the first time?
Well, money is a problem for us at all stages, because it's a costly exercise between fuel and staying agency here in Cyprus and everything. I mean, just to organise it, it was a huge financial sacrifice on a lot of people. And we did get donations, thankfully, from a lot of American people. And I would actually like to thank a lot of the Americans for their donations. And if they do wish to make any more donations, they can on our website.
Okay, and your website is freegaza.com, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so you got there. Tell me about these. I mean, these people have been waiting for a long time because, you know, this has been advertised. And so tell me about the reception. You got there to Gaza, and what did you find?
The reception was so hard to describe it. It was just unbelievable, the reception. When we arrived there was thousands of people lining the shoreline. There was all the boats, no matter how small, were coming out to meet us on the way. It was just incredible. People were diving into the water, swimming over to the boats. At one stage, I was starting to get worried because so many people had climbed onto the boats. I was worried that the actual boats might start to sink.
Wow.
So it was crazy. It was just unbelievable.
Okay.
So,
now, tell me about the situation when you got to Gaza. Now, we have been hearing a lot of horror stories about what the people of Gaza are going through, you know, from sewer plants not working, electric grids not working, electric power stations. People can't find medicine, people can't find food, they're hungry. Tell me about the situation you found when you got there.
Well, nothing could prepare you for what you actually see there. It is horrific. The situation there is actually horrific. The first day we were actually brought to the hospital, the main hospital. We went into the children's ward. There was a 26-week-old infant in an incubator. Because he was a male and under the age of 35, he's considered a terrorist. So therefore he could not get an exit visa. So there was no medicine in the hospital to look after him. I asked them what was going to happen to the child. They basically said all they can do is try and make it as comfortable as they can before it dies. All they could do was sit there and watch this child dying. 26 weeks old. That is a crime against humanity. I don't care what the Israelis say, it's a crime against humanity. Also, we were brought to the sewage treatment plant. The sewage treatment plant hasn't been operating for the last couple of years. So you have 1.5 million people, raw sewage going into the sea. Now, the Israeli tactic at the moment is to beat the fishermen back into shore, so they have to actually fish in polluted water. Now, the fishermen are actually taking more sewage out of their nets than they are taking fish. And the fish that they are getting are polluted. But it's their only food, so they have to eat it. Now the people are getting sick from contaminated food. And the situation is a crime against humanity. The whole thing is a crime against humanity. It's slow genocide.
Tell me about the food situation there. What are they doing for food? Are they getting any food from anywhere, or are they growing their own? What about employment? Are people working there in Gaza?
Employment is, unemployment is 80%. 80% unemployment. So there's no money going around. People are trying to grow little bits here and there, not enough to sustain a family. The farmers, if they go out and try